Hello, Weatherford College Macro. I hope that your week has been off to a good start. It's Wednesday, and we just wrapped up the module with exam number 3 and post number 2. And I've opened up module 5, which contains the last section of chapters, as well as module 6, which contains the portions of the final project, that being the peer assessment review and the actual submission of the Google Sites there under module 6. So the end is absolutely within sight. Another thing that I wanted to update you all on was the grades. I do believe I've graded everything from the most recent module. That includes the second post. I've gone through the quizzes from that module, and I've looked over the exams. One thing that's different in the grading is I've been taking the average of your quizzes, and for the parts of the quizzes that have manual, like type in your own answer, I have to go through and grade it. So I've been doing that all semester, but only for the attempt that had your highest grade. I assumed that Canvas was adding my points to your other quiz attempt such that it wasn't only adding the fill-in grade for just the attempt that was in front of my face. As it turns out, my assumption was wrong. So to keep from having to go back and correct everyone's other attempt on all the quizzes that they've taken in the course, instead I'm just dropping the requirement that your average quiz grade is the final grade. And I've changed it retroactively, presently, and for future quizzes such that it's going to take the highest of your quiz grade. Last thing I should probably address is the reason why there have been so many changes in this class. So normally when I teach this class, it's for dual credit high school students. And high school students are, because they're in high school, they're really competitive. They're trying to compete for scholarships and placement and ranking. Also, high school students don't usually have personal lives as involved as adults, like families and jobs. So the amount of time that a high school student, especially a motivated dual credit high school student that's taking college credit, the amount of times it takes them to go through this course is what the course was set up as. About a week before classes started, I found out that the course was not going to be dual credit. It was going to be college student, like traditional college student, okay? So I didn't think about it then, and it didn't hit me until about a quarter of the way through the semester perhaps, that the course was too fast-paced for the traditional student. The main reason is my high school students are in high school. They have a whole class period that's just for econ, even though it's online. So no matter what, these high school students every single day are touching econ, they're doing something, and they're doing something very competitively with the student next to them. If you're a traditional college student and you don't have a dedicated class and you're not competing for scholarships, then your approach to my class is going to be very different. So I realized that the deadlines and the late penalties that are usually there for my dual credit high school students were too much for the traditional student who's doing this when they don't have job obligations or family obligations. It was a whole lot for us to readjust in the middle of the semester after things had started. So I just kept tweaking things, adding curves, adjusting due dates, taking off late penalties, and here, where I'm making the quizzes the highest grade instead of the average. Now, that's not because of the dual credit traditional dichotomy there. That's just because I realized that Canvas was doing something that I didn't expect it to do. But you probably have noticed that this class has had a lot more tweaking than maybe other classes that you've taken. As a professor, I do my best to adjust to make sure that the students are having the best experience that they can, and also that you understand your standing in the course at any given time. So I hope this helps. I know this video is a bit longer than most, but the next module, the last 2 modules are now open. Thank you all for signing up and letting me know your specifications as to what you're going to research for the final project. If you haven't gotten that to me, please let me know as soon as possible. And we have the rest of November to finish out the last suite of chapters. So it's probably 4 or 5 chapters. It's very similar to the most recent module where you have quizzes, a post, and an exam. So the same deal from now until the first week in December. Pace yourselves accordingly and let me know if you have any questions. Take care.